Another beautiful Saturday night here in Appalachia. Just an absolutely perfect day, weather-wise. Sunshine and blue skies, a few clouds. Aurora Borealis later tonight. And, didn't have any time to prepare anything for today. No Facebook posts or anything like that. Just running around, running errands and doing all kinds of good stuff. But we're always pondering life. One of the subjects that I've been pondering a lot lately and that I wanted to write about and talk about is something called the Rite of Passage. Usually refers to men in their current age. The Rite of Passage is usually a ceremony, graduation ceremony from school, a wedding, considered a rite of passage. Other aspects of life. But what we've lost in our modern culture is a very important rite of passage from boyhood to manhood. I've thought about this a lot over the last couple of years. In a book from the 1990s by Robert Lawler called The New Earth, it's a book for men. He talks about some studies that a woman did in some of the tribal cultures around, and what they did with young boys. It was around the age of 8 to 13. They would take the boy away from the mother and have him live with just men for a few years. And the men would teach him the way of being a man. And it was more than just hunting and fishing and tracking. It was about emotional control and about control of his sexual energies as he was coming into puberty. It's very important. Something we certainly didn't learn when I was growing up. Be back in the 1970-ish time frame. And I think it's something that's severely lacking and could be very helpful for our so-called modern world. Our world that is basically celebrating the religion of technology. The pendulum has swung very far, and it needs to come back. So right now, I'm sitting here on this sacred ground, talking, and enjoying this beautiful moment. These are the kinds of things that we ought to be emphasizing in this culture or society, but we don't. Just sitting with the fire, sitting with ourselves, and asking ourselves, what can we do for the young people that are coming of age? Can we help them understand what it means to be human and have a lot of gratitude and appreciation for being human? I know when I was living in Michigan a few years ago, 5 or 6 years ago, and I used to go to this meditation class Wednesday nights, and there was a woman who came in quite regularly, and she brought her daughter with her a few times. Her daughter was in a local high school, and got to talking one time about the number of teenage suicides that was happening. So this would have been about 2018. there was a lot of teenage suicides happening. I know where I went to school, that didn't happen. So what is it that we can do for these kids and their kids? I think the first thing is to just be a good example. I don't know yet how else we can get involved. Some of you who have children and grandchildren can probably answer that question better than I. But social media is one way to do that. It's one of the reasons why I make these videos and post things on Facebook. Put these videos up on YouTube, hoping that they'll find the right people. The people that need it will find it in their due time. And if it helps one, then that's a good thing. We all can do our little part. But if it helps a young man understand what it means to move in from boyhood to manhood, then that's a good thing too. I know there's a lot of men out there who are putting together men's groups for this purpose, to help men and boys understand what it means to be a man. Now everyone's going to have a slightly different, their own definition of that. But that's okay too, because we're all unique. But I think we can boil it down to some basics. This rite of passage needs to include emotional regulation, to remain calm in the storm, how to show respect for a woman, how to show respect to a woman, all women. I think the biggest thing that, for me anyway, was opening our heart. If we go through a lot of childhood trauma, we close down our heart. And we're trained by the society to live in our mind, not our heart. So we need to learn how to open our heart, and that it is okay to open our heart. And yes, it is going to hurt because we're going to feel, but it's okay to learn to feel. It's okay to feel the emotions, as long as we learn how to regulate them. These are the things that I feel are missing right now. So if this video gets out to anybody, I hope it helps. The rite of passage from boyhood to manhood. Archetypal terms, to go from the divine child to the king, to rule over your little patch of land. Here it is, my little half acre. This is my kingdom, filled with white pines and yellow pines and squirrels and birds. Just get up every day and do what we have to do to thrive. Just be grateful. Still come back to the lesson of the ayahuasca. And I sat up one morning, and I just looked out and said, so this is what it feels like this is what it's like to feel grateful for everything, quote unquote. And I went, whoa, okay. It took me a long time to integrate that one. But I have, just sit there and feel grateful. for all the little things and all the people. Met a lot of nice people today. Stopped up at Lowe's where I used to work and got to see some old friends, which was fun. Had a few good laughs. Just grateful for all of them. I'm gonna put some more wood on the fire. Oh, might have let it go too far, but that's okay. I started another one. Yeah, so the thing that's been on my mind a lot lately is the Rite of Passage. I even bought a book. There's a book from the 60s. It's a tough read. Haven't plowed through it yet. It's called Rite of Passage, R-I-T-E. But it started a movement. A lot of people out there with good ideas. Just have to take the time to find them, listen, ponder it, and then embody it. Embody the ancient wisdom. The ancient wisdom of learning how to regulate our emotions. The ancient wisdom of learning respect for ourselves and others. You're not going to find that on television. Be very careful with television and social media. Who's the master? Who's the slave? A lot of people live with their televisions on as background noise. The television's the master. They're being programmed subliminally throughout their waking hours. Don't be afraid of the silence. Don't be afraid of your own thoughts. Because you can manage your own thoughts. You can have nice thoughts. You are in control of you. That's a very important thing to understand. Sure is quiet here. It's the wind rustling in the trees and blowing right in my face, which blows the heat from the fire right in my face. And a little smoke. It's supposed to be a smokeless fire. Yep. Stay there. Yeah. I used to have a thing on my walls. Only in the silence can you hear the whisper of God. It's so true. I was listening to an interview on Gaia TV, Open Minds, with Regina Meredith. She's really good. She's interviewing this guy, and he was talking about Native American Indians. And he said Native American Indians will never talk to themselves openly. You know, they practice silence so they can listen to God. Because that's the only time you can hear God. It's when you're silent. So they don't talk to themselves. I'm still learning that one. It's a tough one. Yeah. So that's it for tonight. I'm going to enjoy the quiet here. Hope you're having a wonderful night wherever you are. Until next time.